This new Ministry of Truth for the United States, through, I guess, the Department of Homeland Security, it's kind of a funny thing, right? Because, okay, it's bad enough to have this Disinformation Governance Board, and that's the official title for it, but the person that they picked to head it is just the creme de la creme, because they couldn't have picked a better person to be in charge of this. And the guy to defend it, I love that picture. It's perfect. I'm going to try to work it into the thumbnail in some form or fashion. But Mayorkas, he can't do the rest of his jobs, okay? He's a terrible secretary for the Department of Homeland Security. Remember, there's still a border crisis going on with 200,000 plus people trying to cross over every fucking month, and he's still not addressing that at all whatsoever. Oh, don't worry, Kamala's coming down to help eventually at some point or another. Boy, is she fucking worthless as a vice president. Anyways, here's Mayorkas trying to defend this fucking indefensible broad, okay, Nina Jankowicz or whatever. We'll get to her in a moment. But apparently this board, there's no statutory authority that exists to allow it to exist. Interesting. Let's see what they cite. A group of Republican attorney generals warned of legal action against the Department of Homeland Security's new Disinformation Governance Board, stating that no statutory authority exists to back its creation. A letter submitted on May 5th to the DHS chief Alejandro Mayorkas, Virginia's Attorney General Jason Miyares, joined by 19 other Republican attorney generals. Wow, but this is a pretty good fucking turnout. Asked him to immediately disband the board that would police Americans' protected speech. No, they're going against that. Mayorkas said that earlier in the week. It's all about violence. Okay, that's why it's called the disinformation, whatever that means. That would normally just mean that, we're going to police speech because you're just tracking for potential violence. Right. I thought that's what, you normally have to get like a subpoena or, have probable cause to track people's speech. But yeah, no, you just make some more bureaucratic moves and try to make another board or some shit like that to police everybody's speech. No statutory authority exists to support your creation of this board of government censors, reads the letter to Mayorkas. Although Congress has considered a variety of measures to address the perceived dangers of disinformation in the United States, none has passed. Instead, while the people's elected representatives continue to debate this issue, you have arrogated to yourself the power to address it without congressional authorization, despite the far-reaching effects of the Disinformation Governance Board on Americans and our political process. Mayorkas revealed the new initiative to lawmakers during a congressional hearing on April 27th. Wow, that's been that long? Claiming to protect civil liberties and free speech as Russia, China, and other adversaries attempt to stoke division and spread conspiracy theories or falsehoods among Americans. Oh yeah, cool. Like this conspiracy theory. According to the head of this, Nina Jankowicz, liberals are censored more on social media than conservatives. Do you believe that for a moment? Well, the head of the governance or the Ministry of Truth, let's just go ahead and fucking call it exactly what it is. She believes that liberals are censored more than conservatives. Huh. That's a big think topic right there if I've ever heard it. You know what's sad? In some pictures, she's trying to be a comedian. Again, women funny, whatever. But she is like slightly attractive, right? It's just so much trouble in one... relatively she's like a 5, okay, but then when you compare her to other politicians, she's like a 6, okay. She has great eyes, nice hair, but outside of that, she's just a total fucking zealot for the cause. So I don't cut her any slack. She kind of looks like Fran Drescher and Gretchen Whitmer just kind of slapped together into one strong-jawed package. Joe Biden's new Minister of Truth, Nina Jankowicz, has been caught telling another whopper, claiming that leftists and marginalized communities are censored more often than conservatives on social media. Okay. Jankowicz is an executive director to the Department of Homeland Security's new Disinformation Governance Board, a body that has been widely mocked as the government's attempt to create a Ministry of Truth in the United States. In a live stream, Jankowicz, who was previously called on Facebook to censor Breitbart News. Oh, great. Because why? They're exposing some ugly truths. Describe the concerns about anti-conservative bias in Silicon Valley as a myth. Oh, okay, cool. There's already this idea, this allegation that there's an anti-conservative bias on the platforms. Yes, there is. Even though there has been study after study proving, in fact, that it's often liberal voices that are getting silenced, particularly minority voices on social media. Really? Can you point to any of those? Can you cite any of your work? Said Jankowicz in the clip, which has been shared widely on social media. Okay, cool. You're going to be head of disinformation, boys and girls. Why did Homeland Security find one of the top 10 most ridiculous people in the country to run their new Ministry of Truth? Asked journalist Glenn Greenwald. This was some sort of trolling exercise. Yeah, no, she's literally the perfect person to be running this new organization. In October of last year, the Wall Street Journal published research showing that Facebook's changes to its algorithm in the wake of the 2016 election suppressed traffic to Breitbart News by 20%, the Washington Times by 18%, the Western Journal by 16%, and the Epoch Times by 11%. Yeah, but what did it do to CNN and MSNBC and the other liberal outlets? Oh, made them trusted sources. Alrighty then. But she wasn't done there. Here's another whopper for you. Republicans exposing critical race theory are disinformers. Okay, cool. By bringing information to light, you're being a disinformation peddler. That is some 1,000 IQ logic that I'm not smart enough to wrap my head around. The new disinformation chief said that Republicans and media who expose critical race theory making its way into public school classrooms are disinformers who weaponize the issue for profit. A lot of stuff taken out of context there. Let's see if they can provide said context. Nina Jankowicz, who has been appointed to lead the newly established Disinformation Governance Board at the Department of Homeland Security, which, again, why is this the purview of the Department of Homeland Security? Why isn't this an NSA project? Oh, right, they're spying on their own means and taking care of that for themselves. Dismissed the pushback against CRT and indoctrination at an event in Ohio last October. I'm sure that flew really well. The debate over parents' rights to direct their children's education has taken center stage in high-profile elections, including Virginia's gubernatorial race. Yeah, and we see how that played out, because who was the author of the letter directed to her theoretical new boss, if this board ever firmly gets established? Critical race theory has become one of the hot button issues. The Republicans and other disinformers, I'll just lump them all together. Yeah, just Republicans and all of those crazy tinfoil hat wearing people. Because there's no conspiracy theorists on the left. None whatsoever. Who is it recently? Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, right? Says something like 75% of Republicans believe all of QAnon or some shit like that. Remember, no conspiracy theorists on the left. They're just all Republicans all together, right? Anyways, yeah, disinformers who are engaged in disinformation for profit. Oh, cool. That's the best way to describe things. By using a derivative term to describe them. What is disinformation? It is spewed by people who are disinformers. Who are disinformers? People who spew disinformation. All right then. For profit, frankly. Oh, she's just capitalizing on grifters. Son Piker BTFO'd. Jankowicz added that she is living in Virginia, whose parents in Loudoun County fiercely resisted attempts to inject leftist political activism into the local school curricula and policies. She called Loudoun one of the areas where people have really homed in on this topic. Justifiably so. Because how many more tranny rapes do you need to fucking turn a blind eye to before parents start to believe, and accurately so, that that's a pretty big fucking problem? But it's no different than any other hot button issue that have allowed disinformation to flourish. It's weaponizing people's emotions. Cool. Jankowicz told her audience to be alert when they read news articles that make them feel emotional. I agree. Hey, we have common ground here. Adding that she supports government-funded left-leaning institutions such as NPR and PBS. Oh, you just about had me there for a quarter of a second. Because these media outlets get into the nuances on the issue. Yes, NPR as boringly and as biased as possible, and PBS just run reruns of Bob Ross, okay? And everybody will be fine. And provide a balanced, nonpartisan source for information. Cool. She's going to be in charge of telling people what's right and what's wrong and tracking for potential violence or whatever the fuck they want to try to spin this as. But she believes that NPR is going to provide a nonpartisan and balanced take on things. All right, she must not be listening to it like everybody else. So yeah, it's funny. It's just another day that ends in Y, and yeah, another shit tier take from this fucking dolt. So we'll see where this goes, because those confirmation hearings, oh, they're going to be funny. They're going to be hilarious, probably much more so than her stupid TikTok account. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.